Okay, in the last class, the question given was frequency depends upon length, tension, and mass per unit length. So we can raise them to the power A, B, and C. Now let's write the dimensions of all these physical quantities. On the left hand side, it is frequency. Frequency we know is reciprocal of time period. So its dimension is m raised to the power 0, n raised to the power 0, t raised to the power minus 1. Equating it, some dimensionless constant will come here, which has got no dimension. L, it is the length raised to the power A. Tension is the force only. And force has got a dimension m, L, t raised to the power minus 2 raised to the power b. Now what is this mu? Mu is the mass per unit length. It is the mass divided by length. It's not the mass per unit length. So its dimension will be m, L raised to the power minus 1 raised to the power c. So the next step is to collect the dimensions of m, L, and t on the right hand side. The dimension of m, you can see here, is b plus c, whereas the dimension of L is a plus b minus c, and the dimension of t is minus 2b. Whereas on the left hand side, m raised to the power 0, L raised to the power 0, and t raised to the power minus 1. Now let us equate the power of m. What do we get? B plus c is equal to 0. Equate the power of L. What do we get? A plus b minus c is equal to 0. Equating the power of t, we get minus 2b is equal to minus 1. Okay, now our aim is to find A, B, and C. From here, the last equation, we see that minus 2b is equal to minus 1. So b is equal to half. Now as b plus c is equal to 0, so c is equal to minus half. Substituting b and c over here, b here is plus half, c here is minus half. So it becomes half plus half, that is 1. So a will be equal to minus 1. Okay, now substituting it over here, we get the formula for the frequency. So the formula for the frequency is n is equal to some dimensionless constant k, L raised to the power a, which is minus 1, t raised to the power b, b here is half, and mu raised to the power c, which is minus half. Hence the formula is k upon L. L is raised to the power minus 1, can be written as k upon L. T raised to the power plus half divided by mu raised to the power half. So it can be written as under root T upon mu. So this is the formula for the frequency. Okay. So we can find out, we can derive the formula for any equation by knowing that it is depending upon other physical quantities. Okay. So this way we can find out. Now let's proceed to the third application of the dimensional analysis, which is to convert one system of units into another. So write the third application: to convert one system of units into another. Okay, that is if in one of the system, if we know the numeric value, we can find out the numerical value in the other system. Like if we know in the SI system, we can find out in the CGS system. So the third one is to convert one system of units into another. Okay, now here we know that N1 U1 is always equal to N2 U2. This we have discussed already also. N1 U1 is always equal to N2 U2. Like for example, 7 meters will be equal to 700 centimeters. Meters is in SI system, centimeters is in CGS system. So N1 U1 will be always equal to N2 U2. Now suppose in the question N1 U1 is given. and you have to find out N2. That is the numeric value in the other system. So how we proceed? N1, U1 is the unit in the first system which has got some dimension. Let its dimension is M1 raised to the power A, L1 raised to the power B, T1 raised to the power C. Okay, this is the mass in this system, in the first system, length in the first system and time in the first system will be equal to N2, U2. Now U2 will also have some dimension. Let the mass is in some other, suppose here it is in kg, here it is in grams, but the power will remain the same. L2 raised to the power B, T2 raised to the power C. Okay, now if we have to find out N2, so N2 will be equal to N1, just cross multiply, N2 is equal to N1, M1 upon M2 raised to the power A, L1 upon L2 raised to the power B, T1 upon T2 raised to the power C. So this is the formula. By using this formula, we can find out the numeric value in the other system. Okay, N1 is the numeric value in the given system, in the first system, and you can find out the numeric value in the second system. Okay, so N1 U1 is always equal to N2 U2. So dimensions. Okay, they are also U2. We have put the dimensions. So N2 is equal to, this is the formula. Okay, now let's do one question. Then only it will be clear. Okay, write down. Convert 7 newtons. Convert 7 newtons into CGS system. Convert 7 Newton into CGS system of units. Okay, here, what is N1 U1? In the given system, this is 7 Newton. So from here we see that N1 is how much? 7. And U1 is Newton. And Newton has got a dimension. U1 is Newton, that is the unit is Newton, and we know that Newton is the unit of force. And what is the dimension of force? M L T raised to the power minus 2. So U1 has got a dimension M L T raised to the power minus 2. Okay, now let's find out A, B and C. You can see here A is the power of M, B is the power of L and T is the power of C. So in our given equation, in our given question, what is A, B and C? The power of M will be A, the power of L will be B and the power of T is C. So now let's find out A, B and C. So here A is equal to power of M is 1. So A is equal to 1. B is the power of L which is also equal to 1. And C is the power of T which is minus 2. So we'll find out A, B and C. We have got the dimension U1 also. Dimension of U1. Now let's put it in the formula. N2 is equal to N1. M1 upon M2 raised to the power A. L1 upon L2 raised to the power B. T1 upon T2 raised to the power C. Okay, now just you have to substitute the values. N1. See, N1 is equal to 7 into M1. M1 is the mass in the given system. Given system is SI system. There we know that the mass is in kgs. M2 is the mass in the system where we have to find out. We have to find out in CGS system. And there we know that the mass is given in grams. Okay, M1 is the mass in this system, in the given system. And M2 is the mass in the system where we have to find out, where we know that the mass is in grams because it is CGS system. Raised to the power A. A here is 1. L1, the same way. L1 is the length in the SI system. Newton means SI system. And there the length is in meters. L2 is the length in the system where we have to find out. There the length is in centimeters. raised to the power b. B here is again 1. T1. T1 is the time in the given system, which is second, and T2 is the time in the system where we have to find out, that is in CGS system. There also the time is in seconds, raised to the power C, which is -2. Okay, now here we have to cancel out these units, like second and second is cancelling out. Here kg and grams also has to be cancelled out. So either we'll convert kg in grams or grams in kg, whichever you find it convenient. Okay, now let us convert kg in grams. We know that 1 kg is equal to 1000 grams. So this can be written as 10 raised to the power 3 grams. 1000 means we can write it as 10 raised to the power 3 grams. The same way, because we have to cancel out these units. Now the same way, either we'll convert meter in centimeters or centimeters in meters. Let us convert meter in centimeters. We know that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. And 100 can be written as 10 raised to the power 2. 10 raised to the power 2 centimeter upon centimeter cancels out. Okay, so what do we get? 7 into 10 raised to the power. This is 1 raised to the power minus 2, 1 only. 7 into 10 raised to the power 3 into 10 raised to the power 2. That is 7 into 10 raised to the power 3 plus 2 is 5. So here we got the numeric value in the second system, which is N2, and it is equal to 7 into 10 raised to the power 5. Okay, is that clear? I am unmuting you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
okay, very good. Now you will do one question and give me the answer of it. Write down convert 9 joules into CGS system. 9 joules into CGS system. Find out N2 and give me the answer. Okay, the same way.
Nine into 10 to the power 7.
Very good. Okay, others also are getting the same answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Those who are not getting can see from here. N2 is equal to N1. Mass here is in kgs. This is in grams raised to the power A. L1 here it is in meters. In the other system it is in centimeters raised to the power 2. This is in seconds. This is in seconds raised to the power -2. Okay, so 9 into kg can be written as 10 raised to the power 3 grams. This is 10 raised to the power 2 centimeters whole square. So 9 into 10 raised to the power 3 plus 4, 7. Everyone got this answer? Anyone who hasn't got? Anyone who hasn't got can ask the doubt. Okay, very good. Now write one more question. Okay, here we are converting joules in CGS system, that is from SI system to CGS system. Now let any hypothetical system can be made. Let's do a question. Convert 4.2 joules into a system where the fundamental units are taken something else, into a system where alpha kg, beta meter and gamma seconds are the fundamental units. These are fundamental units. The same way you have to proceed. 4.2 joule you have to convert into a system where alpha kg, beta meter and gamma seconds are the fundamental units. Try to do it. Okay, now we are not converting in CGS system. In the new system, the mass will be taken in alpha kg. The length will be taken in beta meters and the time in gamma seconds. So here you have to convert 4.2 joules. Exactly in the same manner you have to proceed. But here the system in which you have to convert is not CGS or any known system. Some hypothetical system where the mass is taken in alpha kg, length is taken in beta meter and the time is taken in gamma seconds. Yes, anyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what is the answer?
N1 gamma square upon alpha beta square.
Yes, very good, correct. Okay, now let's do it. N2 is equal to, the formula is, you can first write the formula, N2 is equal to N1, M1 upon M2 raised to the power A, L1 upon L2 raised for B and T1 upon T2 raised for C. Okay, N2 is equal to N1. What is N1? 4.2. M1 upon M2. M1 is the mass in this system, in the given system, where the unit is joule. And we know that joule is in SI system. And there the mass is in kgs. Okay, now in the given system, there we have to find out. There the mass is given in alpha kg. M1 upon M2 raised to the power A. A here is 1. L1. L1 is the length in this system, where the length is in meters. And in the given system, the length is in beta meters. M1 upon M2 raised to the power B. B here is 2. T1 upon T2. T1 is the time in this system, where we know that the time is in seconds. And in this in the system where we have to find out, there the time is in gamma seconds raised to the power -2. So here kg you can cancel out meter the same way seconds. So what do you get? 4.2 into alpha raised to the power -1, beta raised to the power -2, gamma raised to the power 1 upon gamma is raised to power -2, so gamma square. So this is the answer. Is it clear? Clear, everyone? Any doubt? Okay, so the numeric value in the second system will be given by this formula. So it may not be necessary that you have to convert. So it may not be necessary that you have to convert from SI to CGS system. It may be from one of the system to any hypothetical system. Okay, so you will use the same formula and proceed in the same manner. Okay, so these are the 3 applications of dimensional analysis. Now the next one is limitations. There are few limitations also. Now write down the limitations of dimensional analysis. There are some drawbacks also. So write down limitations of dimensional analysis. The first one is, it gives no information about the dimensionless constant. Okay, whenever we are deriving the equation, no information about dimensionless constant while deriving the formula. Okay, now whenever we derive the formula, what we are writing? Every time we are putting it as k. Now, for example, when we derive the time period is equal to k under root L upon G. This we derive. Frequency we derive K upon L under root T by mu. So everywhere we are putting this K. So dimensional analysis is giving no information about this dimensionless constant. Where here the K, in case of while deriving this time period, K is equal to 2 pi. So it's not giving the information that K is equal to 2 pi. Okay, how K is determined? K is determined experimentally. Okay, but by dimensional analysis, everywhere whenever we derive the formula, we put it as K. It is giving no information about this dimensionless constant while deriving the formula. So the first limitation is it gives no information about the dimensionless constant while deriving the formula. Okay, now the second limitation is whether we are checking the equation, whether we are checking the correctness of the equation, or while deriving the formula, if the equation consists of any trigonometric ratio, any logarithmic ratio, log term, or any exponential term, all these are dimensionless. So while deriving the formula, if these terms are coming, it would be very difficult to derive that formula. Why? Because all these are dimensionless. So while deriving the formula or while checking the correctness of a given equation, if the trigonometric functions or the log functions or the exponential functions are there in the equation, then it is difficult to derive that formula. Okay, so any equation you can write down. Equation containing trigonometric function, log function, or exponential function which have no dimensions, their formula cannot be derived. Okay, now write the third one. First write down, then I'll explain. If a physical quantity depends on more than three physical quantities, its formula cannot be derived. Okay, so when we are deriving the formula, the physical quantity is depending upon some physical quantities, like you can write down A, B, any physical quantities, capital A, B, C, and we have raised it to the powers A, B, and C. If there is one more physical quantity, then we have to raise it to the power of D. So here, when you put the dimensions, how many equations you will get? You will get three equations. One will be equating the power of n, the other will be equating the power of L, and the third one equating the power of T. But how many unknown variables will be there? 4 unknown variables. So using 3 equations, finding out 4 unknown variables is not at all possible. For finding out 4 unknown variables, how many equations do we need? We need 4 equations. But here there will be only 3 equations. One will be the equating the power of n, the other will be equating the power of L, and the third one equating the power of T. So there will be only 3 equations and 4 unknown variables. So that is why if a physical quantity is depending upon more than 3 physical quantities, then we cannot derive its formula. Okay. Then the fourth one is this dimensional analysis is not giving any information about whether the quantity is a scalar quantity or a vector quantity. So it does not give any information about scalar or vector quantities. So the fourth one is it does not give any information about scalar or vector quantities. Okay, so these are the limitations of dimensional analysis. Okay, next is significant figures and errors. So two topics are left in this chapter, significant figures and errors. Okay, that will start tomorrow. And tomorrow you will join by school's ID. Okay, tomorrow the teachers will be coming to the school, so you will join by school ID.